seeing some amount of weakness in the Asian markets after we are seeing the technology sector pulling US indices from the all-time highs, with investors following the drumbeat of corporate earnings. Copper prices have surged to a 7-week high on expectations of strengthening demand and a pickup in inflation as economies rebounded. Nikkei was down close to around 1.1%, while Australian markets were up just around slightly flat, just around 0.4%. Kospi Index was flat. In fact, in US, Dow Jones snapped 3-day winning streak and Nasdaq skid 1% lower as investors awaited the heart of the earnings season and more economic data later in the week. The dollar also fell. Technology shares dragged the S&P 500, which posted its biggest drop in almost 4 weeks. Tesla was down over 3%, and it contributed the most to the decline as one of its electric cars that no one appeared to be driving crashed and killed 2 car passengers. The yield on the 10-year Treasuries advanced slightly to 1.6%. Dow fell 0.4% to close at 34,078, while the S&P and Nasdaq were down close to around 0.5% and 0.9% respectively. In fact, let's speak about Europe. The European stocks reiterated slightly from record highs on Monday as a weaker open on Wall Street and rallying currencies offset the optimism after a solid start to the earnings season. We're also seeing that after marking its 7th straight day of gains on Friday, the Pan-European Stock 600 Index closed little changed but fell about 0.3% from all-time highs hit earlier on Monday. The auto and parts sector led losses. We're seeing overall DAX and FTSE, which were down plus around 0.6% and 0.3% respectively, while CAC was up nearly around 0.15%. In fact, if you look at the WTI, well, the WTI crude lost nearly around 0.4% to close to around $63.4 a barrel, and gold strengthened by 0.5% to nearly around $1771 an ounce on the back of lower dollar index. So yes, so far we are seeing some amount of weakness in the Asian markets after we are seeing the technology sector in fact pulling indices from an all-time low. And not just that, we should also be watching out for how the overall COVID second wave or third wave in some of the regions impacting the economies. But yes, Asian stocks probably are likely, even back home in India, we may see some amount of weakness there.